Well, guys, my nightmare has resurfaced. Oh, man. Now I'm about to get nightmares. And it's officially happening. It's officially happening. Yikes. We knew this day would come. We knew this day would come. Yikes. It's wow. Just wow. And I can't even believe that I'm even talking about this on my channel. I can't believe I have a thumbnail of this movie on my channel. I can't believe it's getting a sequel after pretty much all these years. It's getting the sequel. Just yikes right now. I'm waiting on a couple people to get in here before I even start this because yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. This is real something. Oh man, yikes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is official, and horror fans are going super crazy over this. Me personally, I'm not really going crazy over it, but it is official. We are getting we are getting a sequel to the follow up to the 1982's The Thing. We are definitely getting a sequel to it, a long awaited sequel that is. Now, the question is, when is this gonna happen? You know what I mean? When is it? When is production starting? And who's gonna be in it? Well, from what I've read, based on I know John Carpenter, I know he's set to direct this movie, which he should, and I believe Kurt Russell. I think he's coming back for it. Don't really know much about the cast and stuff like that. And y'all know how I feel about body horror. I'm not a big, huge fan. Now, like I said, horror fans, they're going crazy over it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna get my thoughts on this. I feel like now, from what my understanding is, that this is a pretty much this is based off the books and stuff. You know what I mean? Like this is based off novels and stuff like that too. Like I don't know. Like mind you, I think the first thing came out in. We're talking about the black and white. We're not talking about John Carpenter's one. I believe the first one came out in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. And with that, what I've learned about that is originally they were going to follow the book, you know what I'm saying? But due to like, I think it has something to do with the budget at the time, and because they thought it would scare away a lot of people, I guess. They wanted to do a cheaper route, which is to get somebody in a costume, like an alien costume. You know what I mean? Versus like CGI and all that. Mind you, like the 50s didn't really have much to work with as far as like CGI. Now, when you fast forward to 1982 and John Carpenter's vision on the thing. Now, I will say this. If you watch the original Halloween 1978, remember where Tommy and the kid, Tommy and he was watching what was he? Yeah, he was watching the thing, the first thing from the 50s. Now, I will say this. I feel like it was John Carpenter, I think, took influence. And I think that was a teaser. I felt that he was going to direct a movie like that, which he did. And granted, the movie is getting, has gotten over the years, it's gotten a cult following. Now it's getting, people say it's a classic, you know what I'm saying? But critically, it did get mixed reviews, but it did make top 250 movies on IMDb. It did make that. Now, I will say this. John Carpenter's vision, I think he followed I think strictly like a little bit more strictly with the books. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you see the alien creature. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and I've like, and here's the thing. I felt like at the end of the movie, if you watch the end of the movie, I think that was the setup for a sequel, honestly. But I will say this: if you were gonna do a sequel, you should have did it at least a couple years after. I felt, you know what I'm saying. Now, was this movie a big blockbuster hit? No, it wasn't. It wasn't a big blockbuster hit at the time, but I feel like the sequel, I think, is gonna surpass the the first one as far as like box office hit. You know what I'm saying? I felt like if you were gonna do something like this, it should have been done in the 80s. It should have been done in the 80s. I guess originally it was going to happen, but I mean, John Carpenter, he did do other projects like Big Trouble in Little China and They Live, you know what I'm saying? Other projects and stuff. So now we fast forward to 2025 where this is officially announced. Now, mind you, this particular project, this has been talked about for quite some time. For what my understanding was, this been talked about. I want to say years and years. This was like years in the making, but I guess at the time, I mean, John Carpenter wasn't really doing as much, directing wise. He was still producing. He directed, a couple of things here and there. Like he wasn't really as active as he was back then. But now this is resurfaced, and now since the 4K, ever since the 4K, Blu-ray, I mean 4K steel books and the 4K slipcover, ever since this came out on 4K a few years ago, I felt like now everybody is starting to appreciate it more. It's now people are considering this is a classic. People are considering this is horrible. You know what I'm saying? That people are considering this is one of the best movies of all time. Which, in my honest opinion, I will say this. Now, as much as I'm not a big fan of body horror, and I don't like body horror. For those of you who've been on my channel for the longest time, I do not like body horror. I would not even review the thing. Honestly, I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like movies, and I've seen movies like that. Like for instance, The Substance, which I loved how The Substance didn't give anything away in the trailer at all. That's one thing I loved. But that last 15 minutes, you had a whole bunch of stuff going on, and you had like influences from, of course, the thing, for Beyond, Human Centipede, all that other stuff. You know what I mean? All that other movies that has something to do with body horror. Now, I will say this, in my honest opinion, uh, this movie, it does need a sequel. It does need a sequel. Now the question is, how is how is this gonna play? Because remember, at the end of the movie, you had two survivors. You had Childs, which was played by Keith David, and then you had Kurt Russell's character as well too. Now, where was throughout all this, where was Childs? That was a good question. Is Kurt Russell's character the thing, or was it Keith David's character the thing? You know what I'm saying? As you see, the thing was killed off. But is there another one like that? Is there another person that was affected and is gonna turn to this monster? Hello, hey, Atman, how you doing? You're from okay, cool, cool, cool. Welcome in, welcome. Oh, try, bro. What's good with you? How you doing? How you doing today, bro? Yeah, we're talking about yeah, big news. I wasn't even gonna even do this kind of video, but I was like, you know what? Let me do it. Let me go ahead and let me do this because I want to get more involved in my channel now. So you chilling? That's what's up. That's what's up. So I don't know, try if you heard, but we are getting a thing too, a sequel to the thing. Now, in my honest opinion, I don't know. I feel like they waited way too long for this. I mean, if you're gonna do something like this, I mean, it should have been done. I would go as far as like late '80s, early '90s. Yeah, they're making because from what I'm understanding, it's that these the thing is based off a book, based off a novel, whatever, and it has like it's supposed to be like I think it has three books. So like at the end, but the end of the movie though, it kind of sort of it's kind of set up for a sequel. Now John Carpenter has been talking about this and talking about this and talking about this for years, but nothing was set in stone. So now it's a pretty much official. We are getting word that it's pretty much greenlit it. So pretty much, I think Kurt Russell, I think is returning. John Carpenter, coming back to directing it. I don't know about Keith David though. I don't know. Like, but yet again, you have to bring him back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they are. They running out of ideas. But my thing is, if you're gonna do a sequel to the thing, that should have been done at least a couple years later, while Kurt Russell and Keith David were in their primes. And I'm not saying that now they can't do it now, but at the same token, I mean, they both are getting up their age. Like, if you're gonna, I don't know how it's gonna go. Like I don't know how it's gonna go. But the ending, if you saw the ending, it did kind of set up for a sequel or a follow up. But I felt like they waited way, way, way too long. You know what I'm saying? Kurt Russell is exactly, yeah. And Keith Davis, what 90, and like, I don't know. Unless the only thing I could think of is that they're gonna I guess, kill him off in the beginning, which could make sense. But then at this point, now Kurt Russell has a son who's acting, Wyatt Russell. At this point, you would have to you would have to try to get him on board. That would make sense, right? But it's like, well, no offense to Kurt Russell, but he can't do movies like Snake. And here's another thing. Here's another thing. From what I've read, they're teasing another Escape from New York. They're teasing that too, and I which why though? What what do we need? What do we need another one for? Yeah, they're teasing. Yeah, I read somewhere that I know John Carpenter was at he was at a convention. I think him and Kurt, and they teased. They had like the iPod or something like that, and they're they're teasing. Well, yeah, Kurt Russell. I mean, when was the last great movie Kurt Russell was in? You know what I mean? And yeah, I think all of them. I think all of them need the money. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay. I think John Carpenter especially need the money because I don't know when was the last movie he directed? I think all of them they I think all of them need the money. I think at this point, like, all right, let's do sequels to these two movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know. But like John Carpenter, I mean, he produced the Halloween movies, the newest ones. He was involved in that, but he didn't direct them, no. But my thing is, why a sequel? Like I said, if you were gonna do a sequel to the thing, you should have did a couple. Mind you, thing came out in '82, but I would say '85, at least '86, maybe '92. That would have worked. Beetlejuice worked, but that's not gonna happen for our sequel. No, it's not. Yeah, Beetlejuice. No, I had problems with Beetlejuice 2. I had issues with it. I I would have not casted Jenna Ortega. I thought she was the least. She was. I thought she couldn't act in that movie. Her acting, no. It I couldn't get with. Everybody else's acting was great. Jenna Ortega, no. Mm-mm. I would have casted somebody else. But the movie itself, it was solid after all. Now I have to watch the first one all over again. Yeah, I mean, but I mean, if I don't know if her acting was better, then that it would be a little different. But to me, I don't know. For me, she just don't do it. I don't know. Like she, to me, she was just I didn't really care for her in that. But everybody else who was involved, I liked. They were great. But yeah, Jenna, and yeah, And now, speaking of sequels, we getting another Scream. You know what I mean? And we getting all these other sequels, Black Phone 2, and all this other stuff. Yeah, that's because she's not in it anymore. So what happened was Melissa Barrera, in the early stages of Scream, the early stages, because of what she said on her Twitter, and she said something, and she got fired. Which I mean, I wouldn't. I don't really miss her. I wouldn't miss her. Jenna Ortega, I wouldn't miss her either. So what happened was Jenna Ortega actually quit because they fired Melissa Barrera. So she didn't. She was like, "Well, if Melissa's not gonna be it, then I'm not gonna be it either." But yeah, but I just watched Black Phone 2 last night. Good sequel. Very influenced by Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, that's what's up. I gotta watch the first one. The first one I gotta watch. I haven't watched that one yet, but I've heard good things about Black Phone 2 though. But yeah, like so now we get the thing too. Like now we getting that, and it. You want to know my honest opinion about the movie? Well, at least about the first movie. Okay, now I'm not gonna hold you. I actually like the first movie. I like the first movie. You know what I'm saying? And to be real with you, I thought it was a well made body horror. I think, in my honest opinion. Ooh, Black Phone 3. Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely need this. I definitely need to watch the Black Phone movies. I thought it was good. Yeah, the thing is a classic. Yeah, and see now the if you're talking about the 2011, now from what I'm hearing, the 2011 is like a prequel. I guess I don't know. I didn't see it, and don't really plan on seeing it honestly. But I'm not gonna hold you. The thing, yeah, it is. It is a classic. It's a classic. Yes, I will say that. Is it one of my? Is it one of the best movies of all time? Debatable. Debatable. Is it like my top? Is it like my top 20? I it the thing. I have a love hate relationship with. You know what I'm saying? I don't really body horror. I can't mess you up with body horror, honestly. But it's the story and the pacing. I felt like the pacing of the 1982's The Thing I thought was well done, and you could tell it took influences from the first Alien. You know what I'm saying? It kind of sort of took influence a little bit, like some parts, but like I felt like John Carpenter's visionary of The Thing, I think, took it to new heights. And yes, it is gross, it is grotesque, and if your stomach can't handle it, I wouldn't even recommend watching this movie. But if you love body horror, I highly recommend it. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is not exactly a movie review per se, but I kind of want to give like a it's kind of like a backstory, for those who probably haven't seen the movie. But right now, yeah, fans are going nuts over this. Honestly, horror fans, true horror fans, horror fans like us, we going nuts over it. Me personally, I am not going nuts over it. I didn't care if it would get a sequel or not. I listen. I don't care if it may if it when if and when it does come out, I'm pretty sure it's gonna do well at the box office. But hey, I'm not watching it. I nope. Mm-mm. I will definitely skip over this. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me if y'all gonna watch it, let me know how it is. But other than that, yeah, I'm not even gonna watch it. Yeah, that's what I heard try about the 2011 Sting. It didn't feel like a prequel. Yeah, it just I saw like a couple of parts of that movie. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely skipping over this. But yeah, um, so the thing, it was a complete waste. Yeah, I see, and I even wasted 10 seconds of watching that scene. A scene that I saw. I think it was something about. I think it was I saw where some guy was getting ready to turn into it. I didn't like the CGI. I didn't care for it all. Honestly, I think it was too cheap. And now I will say this: you could tell this is John Carpenter's baby because, John Carpenter, he stated many, many, many times. I'm pretty sure that the thing is his, I think probably if not his favorite thing that he directed, favorite movie he directed. Now, mind you, he has directed classics like Halloween 1978, Big Trouble in Little China, which to me I thought is quite underrated. Um, They Live, which I think is one of his best movies as well too. Now, I will say this: if you're gonna do a sequel to the thing, you have to take your time with this one. The pacing has to be perfect. If you're gonna do something like I don't know how the running time. I don't know how long it would be. I have a feeling it might be a little bit over 2 hours running time. Who knows? But at the same time, in my personal opinion, I think it's several years late for it. And I don't know how the CGI is going to be. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to see, I mean, if you're going to do something, I would like to know more of like the backstory a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like I said, like the pacing, it has to be a very good story to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you're gonna like Kurt Russell. He can't. No, him chasing 80 aliens at the age of 75 or whatever age. No, you gotta have no. I mean, I could see him, or even keep. You know what I mean? Like keep him alive, but have him have like a son. Which Wyatt Russell, that's when he comes in and just pretty much battles this person or it or whatever you want to call it. I want to play the thing video game it came out last year and never heard about it. Yeah, see, I've heard that. I heard about the video game. I heard it was pretty good. That's what I heard. Um, I yeah, I hey, let me know how the game is. Me, I am not going near the game. Oh man, I'm not. In fact, I'm not even owning this movie. I really not. I'm not. I'm not. That's one I would not own. Now I will watch some parts of the movie. You know what I mean? The non-alien parts, the acting parts, I will watch. I watch those. Oh, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because it's like and they thought they were doing something with coming out of the prequel. They thought they were doing something, but it's like, well, what you're doing is you're trying to recreate something that was already perfect to begin with. And mind you, it was 2011, and you just came out with junk, with cheap CGI effects. To me, it was too cheap. You let the CGI do all the work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was no man. It felt like as if you computerized the transformations. You know what I mean? Like, it felt like if you took a PowerPoint presentation and you computerized it. That's how I felt. That's how I feel about the prequels. Like with the 1982. Now, mind you, they had limited sources when it came to CGIs and all that stuff. But they took its time. They took their time. The budget, I bet it had to been a budget. You know what I'm saying? Like it had to been a budget so big, but yeah, it kind of sucked that it didn't really do as well. Now, mind you, the budget of this movie was $15 million. You know what I'm saying? It was well spent. I'm pretty sure. Now, with the opening weekend of this movie, and mind you, it opened June 25th, 1982. It was summer. It was a summer movie. Um, it only made pretty much opening weekend, it only made 31 3 million on opening weekend, and between it worldwide, it only made 20 million. So, which 20 million, that's for 1982, that's not bad, but in today's standards, it's not great either. Now, basically, since it grossed worldwide $20 million, over a little bit over 20 million, it basically made its money back. So in hindsight, they only made 10 million off of that. So that's not much at all. You know what I'm saying? So if you had a budget of $10 million already, or at least, yeah, 15 million, $15 million already, and then you only made 20, that you off of that movie, you only making $5 million off of that, which is not great. You know what I mean? But at least you made your money back. But the whole point is, it's like you want to make your money back then some, but it's just and two, and I kind of get it. You know what I'm saying? Like horror movies, people, when it comes to movies like, something like this, I get where people are turned off. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then like it just didn't, it kind of didn't make sense either. Because now I sometimes I get it, because now you had Kurt Russell, who just came off of Escape from New York. So at this point, now he's an established actor. Keith David, he was an up and comer. You know what I mean? Everybody else who was in that movie, was also an up and comer too. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you had Wilford Brimley, who was already established as pretty much established. T.K. Carter, who was an up and comer. You know what I mean? He was kind of new to the scene. Like you didn't really have big name stars really in it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess people kind of shy away from that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can have no bi- you can have like people who are not big name stars, and they still, you can still have a box office draw. You know what I'm saying? It has happened. It's happened, but it's just one of those things where it's like it's a lot. I guess it was a lot of things that kind of turn people off. So now, fast forward to 2025, we're going to update on this Thing sequel. Hopefully, it will go. Hopefully, we'll get a release date pretty soon. I don't think it will be next year. I doubt it'll be next year. I don't know. But if you're gonna do it, you're gonna want to take your time on it. You know what I mean? At the same time, we Hollywood, yes, they are running out of ideas. They are. But at the end of the day, I mean, I guess horror fans are happy. They could finally sleep. Oh, we're getting a sequel to this movie. And then we also may be getting a sequel to Escape from New York, which no one asked for. A remake, no one asked for that either. But it's been like talks as well too of remaking the thing. It was talks of that too. But I mean, you got a couple of novels of this. So I mean, I guess you got like I said, you gotta do. At this point, Hollywood is running out of ideas. They're running out. I mean, they're running out. But at the end of the day, I mean, I guess horror fans could sleep at night. Me personally, I would probably be having nightmares, most likely. Nah, I'm over exaggerating, but well, but I mean, now we know that we getting a sequel to it. So I just wanted to come on here and I wanted to discuss that and stuff like that. So for those of you who are new to my channel, please go subscribe to my channel. Also, watch the movie first if you haven't seen it already. So with that being said, I am gonna get up out of here. But this is Mike from Mike's Movie Corner and more, and I will see you guys in the next live stream. Peace out.